using that water feature?
Probably. Yes. Yes, you can.
This seems like a good enough place to get going.
Yeah, I guess. So, hello.
Hello.
Who are you?
I'm Tentacle Panther, the extra-dimensional what the duck full of stolen thoughts and memories.
I love that. I love Tentacle Panther. How you doing?
Not too bad. Excited to be here, really.
Really? Well, that's good.
Yeah.
So, you are one of the few people who actually watches my interviews when I post them online. And because of that, I'm gonna have to do something a little special, because who knows if you've memorized my list in its order?
I think I could probably get I'm gonna confidently say I could get at least 50% of the questions if I tried to write them out.
Okay, well, instead, I'm gonna ask that we roll a d20.
Okay.
Do you have a d20?
Yes, within
Okay.
arm's reach.
Yes. So, whenever you want a question, roll that d20, and that will indicate the question on the list to then ask you.
And if I roll a 1, the interview ends immediately and you are no longer my friend.
No, but that would be funny.
Alright. Hey. Already getting off topic before we're even on topic.
Yeah.
Did you know it is just damn near impossible to break one of these things?
A d20?
For a Christmas present, I made a friend a dice tower, and I decided that I was going to give them a dice set to go with it.
Mm-hmm.
The dice set I got a little bit later, and when I gave them the tower, they mentioned, oh yeah, I'm probably going to use this as, like, a retirement shrine of a character.
Mm.
And I'm like, cool. So I get the idea in my head, I should shatter this D20 and then, like, stick it back together with red nail polish. Because I think that would be a cool effect for a die that's not in use.
Yeah.
You can drop it, you can bounce it, you can kick it, you can stomp it. You can leave it in a bucket of literal liquid nitrogen and then hit it with a mallet. All it does is bounce off the roof.
Oh my gosh. That is a little ridiculous.
I'm lucky I found it again.
Yeah. That's ridiculous.
Which
Alright, I
means
gotta start cleaning.
it is now June. It is June, and I still haven't actually given them this D20. I've given them everything else, but not this D20.
That's...
I should get around to that.
Yeah. I gotta mess with my settings, I'm sorry. There. That should be okay. Yep, it's fine. Alright, cool. Anyway, you rolled a 2.
I rolled a 2.
I gotta look at my list, don't I? I have a list.
I'm going to show you this radio, but it's incredibly loud, so after you get to hear the sound of it, I'm going to throw it in the furnace.
Okay. Where did I put it? Oh, there it is. It's that one. Okay, 2 is, what do you do? Oh gosh, that is loud.
What do I do? I am an entertainer. I do my best to be entertaining. And... like, yeah, at heart, just about everything I've got can be traced back to that boot. It takes a little creative interpretation at times. But,
oh, good, it finally stopped.
Yeah.
It was hard to hear you over that.
That was a real fireproof radio.
It was a fighter.
What sort of party was this?
Oh gosh.
Chop, 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 chop.
No.
Swords!
No! Leave me alone.
Things like silly shenanigans, like chasing you around with a sword. Entertaining. For me, for someone else, perhaps.
Hey, we should probably deal with these bodies.
Yep.
Before the blood. But okay, so you're an entertainer.
Yes. There's a through line, there's an instinct. Since a very early age, I have been living as though I am on TV.
This stuff
Okay.
will never come out of the cupboard.
Can you speak more on that? Like, what do you mean by that?
Well,
I'm guessing you were on the losing end of this battle.
I guess there's two sides to it. There's the... You see in a sitcom, someone looks around, it's like, oh, well, nobody's looking, I'm gonna do this. And then you, the viewer, are just like, I don't want to sit through 20 minutes of this agony, watching the consequences of this decision. And also, there's things that would just be funny. And so I will do or say them, regardless of whether there's an audience.
Okay. Fair enough. Oh, not that. I like that. Thank you for sharing.
Thank you for liking it.
I hope the gloves are thick enough.
I did not realize on this map that your janitor speaks.
Speaks in the voice of the Shadow Warrior guy.
There's some money.
I think
Do we put that in the
trunk.
bucket? I think it counts as stealing, but sure.
Well, yeah, I think that's our bonus objective. Like,
Is it?
there's usually put the crates here, put this thing there.
Oh, yeah.
For this time, I think we're taking all the money and valuable objects.
Okay. That makes sense. Alright, you want another question, or do you feel like there's more to say?
No, I just forgot that this was on me.
It is.
There it goes. And of course, it's carpet, so it can land sideways.
So is entertaining
that's a
the only
two.
thing that you do? In and outside of, the internet?
Well, like, I don't know. I feel like this may blend into one of the other questions, but you know what? We'll go for it now, just in case the other question doesn't come up.
Okay.
The entertaining thing, is that all I do? Well, yes, in a way, it is all I do. All things that I do are entertainment of a fashion. Because here's a story from when I was like... I don't know how old, maybe like 14 or 15? Mid-teens somewhere. I had a dream. In the dream, I woke up, went downstairs, it was on or near my birthday, and nobody was there.
Oh no.
The whole house was deserted. All I could find was a series of sticky notes telling the story that, like, hey, your friends and relatives have set up this giant birthday quest for you around the town. You'll have to follow clues and find everybody to see what's going on. And I was thrilled. This was, like, you know how in dreams you can be the happiest you've ever been? Because the emotion turns up all the way. Yeah, I was like, it was one of those crushing disappointment to wake up dreams, because I woke up and realized that no, someone was not going to do that for me.
No.
And on that day, for me, you know, I had to confront there is no inherent magic in the world that is there without being put there. There's nothing, no forgotten mystical dragon to go and encounter. Anything that is there has to be put there by somebody.
Yeah.
So from that point, I made it a goal, a quest. It was one of the purposes in my life was to put things out to be found, so that someone else wouldn't have to realize that.
Aw, I like that. That's really sweet. Do you feel like you've had much success on that front, or are you still working on stuff?
Oh yeah. Yeah, it doesn't all have to be big things. There are lots of little shenanigans that fit. Like, at work, working with kids, whenever they ask to do anything, I will always... Well, okay, varies depending on the ask, but though I will specifically list, they'll say, can I go to the washroom? And I say, sure, don't catch fire. And the first time or two, it's pretty great. The first time or two they hear it, they will just like, what? Why? Why are you warning me about that? What is the purpose of this? Is that on the table? Why? And they will often confront me. Why are you telling? Why are you saying don't catch fire? And I say, because I don't want you to catch fire. I have, like, if you catch fire, that's a whole lot of work for me, and also, like,
a lot of
burns.
paperwork.
I don't want you catching fire. Don't catch fire.
Medieval.
How would that even happen? I'm not gonna give you instructions to go catch fire. No, I said don't do it.
I love that. I'm guessing they eventually accept that that's just something that you ask them not to do.
Yeah, they still occasionally peek up about it. I think one of them might still think I have an evil twin out there somewhere.
You might.
He's
Who
quite young.
knows?
Smells like baby farts.
Interesting. So here's a question that's not on the list. If if you did have an evil twin, would you be the evil twin, or would it have to be someone else?
See, that's the thing. Well,
Hey, nice.
couple of
shoes.
branches here. First off, there is someone to whom, or of whom I have been referring as my evil twin since shortly after graduating high school.
Yeah.
Because looking at him and looking at the choices he makes in life and the way he approaches things, he's like very much just me, but a few switches are
That
flipped.
smell makes me hungry.
Okay. Interesting.
The vignette I will tell to convey what kind of a person he is I was once telling him a story of like, oh yeah, this happened and then this, and he cut me off, finished the story wrong, and then said, I know you too well. So
Yeah, no,
that
that
kind of guy.
yeah, okay. Oh, I see that. Yep, I agree.
So yeah,
This is
But,
like,
helping.
that was, oh geez, what time in my emotional development did I think about this one? Because I distinctly remember having a whole pile of thoughts about that, like, at this point I have enough people in my life who trust me and place some pretty significant trust in me.
Mm-hmm.
I could hurt a lot of people very badly if I set out to do that. And I would think about, like, how far could this go? Because you see that one episode of the TV show where a shapeshifter takes over a character, they're possessed or something.
Yeah.
And it's like, then they go around using people's trust in that character to ruin that person's relationships.
Uh-huh.
And cause general harm like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know. The end result is I decided I would not do that because I did not want to do that and cause those results.
Mm-hmm.
But is that an evil twin thing to think of?
I don't
Like,
think
maybe
so.
I'm like... Maybe I'm... like Granny Weatherwax from the Discworld series, where a few books in, it becomes fairly strongly implied that she and her twin sister, Granny Weatherwax, was meant to be the evil witch, and her sister was meant to be the good witch. But her sister started, like, mind-controlling people with foul magics that ought not to be reckoned with. And Granny had very bitterly had to take over the role of being the good witch.
That is interesting.
Sharp.
I guess that's why I asked the question, because, you know, it's complicated.
Yeah.
Complicated question.
Which is why I don't like the alignment system in Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah, it's a little...
Oh, good.
We need more gray. And then black and white.
The one interpretation that I really like of it is evil focuses on yourself above others, good focuses on everyone above yourself.
But, I mean, to some extent, you can totally take that in the wrong direction.
True enough.
But yeah.
I mean, you are part of everyone.
That is true.
So completely ruining your own life, that causes some harm in the broader scale of everyone.
Yeah. Well, that, and also just, I'm more thinking about, like, you know how the fear that, like, if the goal is to protect everyone, then the best way to protect everyone is to kill everyone? Kind of a deal?
Well, that's positives versus negatives. That's avoiding suffering.
That's true, yeah.
And avoiding the negative is not the same as applying the positive.
Okay. I guess in that context, that makes more sense.
I got greenlit for this.
Do you want the next question?
Yeah, I'll finally get around to rolling again. 11. That's not 2.
11. Okay. Let me grab that. 11. How do you react in uncomfortable situations?
I get real quiet.
Yeah?
I get quiet and I start looking back and forth. What are my resources here? What are the problems I may need to solve with these resources? And what are the hazards to me?
Okay, so threat assessment.
Yep.
Nice. I wish,
Not entirely survival mode right off, but it gets close.
Yeah. It sounds like... So, did you have someone to teach you how to do that? Or is that something you just learned through life?
I think that's something I learned.
Okay.
There may be some bearing on it, because my family, overall, we are rather witty. So, anything that you say is something you have just said. So you might have to back that up. Or you might get dunked on for it if it's a bad take.
Okay.
So, if I'm on uncertain footing, I stop putting things out until I know what I am putting out and where I want it to be.
Okay. I think that makes sense.
Well, I hope it does.
There's some bullet casings that'll sweep into a pile.
I do not look forward to those things.
Clean up your footsteps.
There.
You gotta do it just right. Stop leaving footprints everywhere!
Alright.
The mopping. I wish mopping was this easy in real life.
Ah, you gotta do figure 8 mopping. It's not quite this easy, but it works well enough that it's satisfying.
Okay. I haven't done enough mopping to know then.
I literally learned how to mop in school.
Really?
Theater. Yeah, because mopping a stage is an important part of what you do. Because if an actor steps on a rock and, like, jabs their foot, or slips on water on the deck, puts their toe into, like, a mounting port for, like, you slide a pole in and you put lights on it, and then in the twisting rips their nail halfway off and damages the nail bed, that's a hospital trip that could have been prevented by mopping.
That's fair. Fair enough, I guess, yeah. Okay. You make your point. Good point. But that's really interesting. Okay.
Yeah, theater school. You get all kinds of stuff. Like one day you are learning how to mop. Another day you've got 8 people in a room, hands and knees, mooing.
Of course, only in theater class.
These are both parts of theater school.
So when you say theater school, do you mean... What do you mean by that?
Bachelor of Fine Arts degree, drama.
Nice.
Thank you.
Congratulations. So, what are you hoping to do with that, degree?
Well, I would like to get into the entertainment industry at large. Dubbing, voice acting, regular acting, even just being a stage tech. That would be great.
Just something to do.
There's another childhood story to bring back.
Okay.
I remember seeing... I was very young for this one. I remember seeing on TV a celebrity being met by somebody, and like all these people were just so freaking out excited because, oh my god, I get to meet this person. And then I saw that everyone was being charged scads of money for this, like 80, $100 just for a handshake and a meet, maybe an autograph. And I looked at that and I was like, no, I don't like that. They are not using that power well enough. I'm gonna do better.
Oh, okay. How would you do better?
The adding magic. The taking the thought to... Well, it's like the stuff that you would hear of Bill Murray doing. Like, he leans over and steals half of someone's sandwich at an airport and then looks them in the eye and says, no one will ever believe you. Or he shows up to a party and says, like, hey, I'm Bill Murray, I saw you were having a party, I'm here now.
I see,
like, yeah, that's...
Just be a little
chaotic, unexpected, like, hey, there is something in this world that is independent from the effort that I personally am putting in. Something might just fall from the sky for me.
I see. And you want to be that catalyst for someone else.
Yeah.
I like that. I hope you achieve that.
Thank you.
That's great. Next question?
Sure.
I'm not putting my hand in
5.
there again.
5. Okay. Why do you make things?
Why do I make things? See, here's where we got to the, we already sort of answered this.
But,
and
you know, continue.
I'll skim it, I'll summarize. Because in making things, the effort that I put into it is partly rewarded by the effort of it. It is... I'm sure this is going to be a weird term to say it out loud, but it is a joy of the flesh. Like, if you're doing a push-up, well, if you're doing a bunch of push-ups, that kind of sucks. If you are climbing onto a rock just for fun, the strain of that in your muscles is, you know, kind of a good time.
Yeah. Okay.
Even if it's not something that is normally, like, burpees suck. However, if you are jumping between things and then crawling under other things, that's sort of the same motion, and feeling that burn in the muscles is a joy, and not just because you're getting stronger. It's not just because of the output, but the feeling of using the body to its capacity for its intended purpose in a non-destructive way is just like, yeah, this is nice. It's like watching a clock run. It's like watching a little stream flow.
Okay. I like that. That's a very good description of that. I like that a lot. Thank you for
To
sharing.
answer the actual question, though, partly because that pays back the effort, and another part because I knew these doors were going to be trouble.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
And the other part because if it takes me 1 unit of energy to produce this, but when somebody gets it as a surprise gift, and they get 1.1 units of joy out of it, then that's a net gain.
Okay.
That is time well spent. Because it is overall, the strife that it caused me to create it was less than the joy it brought someone else to receive it.
Okay. Yeah, I think I understand that. The interesting way of putting things. How did you come to that idea of, I guess, seeing life in that sort of way?
That's back to the celebrity thing again.
Oh, okay.
Because just stopping on the way to somewhere to say hi, fairly low effort on their part. But, oh my god, they said hi to me, this is the best day of my life, I will carry this with me forever! Seems to be slightly larger than that.
More energy than what was inputted.
Yeah.
Okay. I see. Okay, cool. I think I get it.
This isn't helping.
Well, I hope it makes sense. Because otherwise, it's a very self-serving protagonist syndrome.
You know what? The more I live, the more I feel like we all have one of those. It's alright.
Yeah. Well, that's very comforting, because I actually do worry about that fairly often.
I think...
Like, main character syndrome, but specifically, like, BioWare main character syndrome. Where you make yourself part of everybody's problems, and then also fix them.
I see. As far as my, interactions with you, I have not felt that. So you don't have to worry about that on my end. But also, I think that's just human nature. We're complicated beings that, make things messy.
But if you talk to somebody who studies economics, they will tell you the opposite.
Oh. Well...
I have taken one economics class, and I very much did not get along with it.
I feel like economics mostly looks at data, right? Data is unmoving and uncaring.
Yes, this is true.
There's a difference between data and people.
And also, I think there is a distinction to be made between actual economic study and the worldviews of people who have only done a very little bit of economic study. Because an incentive system is not the same as a fundamental truth of human nature.
That is true, yeah. You're gonna have outliers. Things that don't go with the system.
Ow, that's sharp!
And I say that that is a point towards my argument of people are messy.
Oh, true. I can get behind that one.
So I don't think you have a problem of main character syndrome. I think the fact that you are worried about it is a point towards, the fact that you probably don't have it if you're worried about it.
Well, thank you.
No problem.
That concern actually was the driving creative question behind... I want to call it my thesis, but it absolutely was not a thesis. It was just the last performance I created in a performance creation class, which was the last theater class I took in my degree.
Okay.
It was not the penultimate question, it just happened to be the last one.
Uh-huh.
And throughout all of the performance development stuff we did, I came up with the pair of questions that I built my show around. It ended up being this, like, game where everybody is trying to operate a ship while knowing their own capabilities, but not having context for those capabilities, or knowing the capabilities of anybody else.
That's frustrating.
I have a 3 in worldliness. Is that good? But compared, I have a 1 in worldliness, but I have a 10 in sailing. So I must be terrible at worldliness.
Uh-huh.
But then there's also the switchback of one of the stats low number wins, one of the stats high number wins. They're all different scales. One of them only goes up to 3.
Yeah.
But the question that I asked with that show, and the show ended up just being called INMTW. Question
What does that stand for?
If not me, then who?
Ah.
And it's
okay.
paired question. If not now, then when? And asking those questions has served me well so far. Because I look at something and I think, oh, this is not for me. Well, then who is it for? And either, maybe sometimes the answer is, well, fine, I guess it is for me. And sometimes the answer is, oh, Tina, I should send this to Tina. Tina would love this.
Okay, yeah, I like that. I need to be asking those questions more in my life. They're very good questions.
The if not now, then when has, like, oof, that's a gooder for practical applications, because, like, I just do not have it in me to do this tonight. It's just not gonna happen tonight. Okay. If not tonight, that's fine. Definitely not tonight, then. Not happening tonight. Time to stop worrying about that. But also, when is it time? Tuesday, just before noon. Cool. We will do this Tuesday, just before noon.
Put it in your calendar. Have that to look forward to. Yeah.
Exactly.
I like that. Thank you for reminding me of those wise words. I need to use them more often.
Well,
Or the
I hope they
stand in
help.
here. Huh?
I hope they help.
I think they will. Do you feel like that's you've covered that question well enough?
Yeah, I think I have.
Okay. Ready for the next one? 18. What excites you the most?
Ooh. That's a good question. I guess the first thing that springs to mind is at work. Somebody new started working there. I made a lazy pun about their name, and then I asked, "Are you sick of that one yet?" And they said, "Yes." I got a good laugh out of that. And also the kid that I was sitting next to, and this is like 6-8 months into working there. The kid looks at me and says, "I think that's the first time I've seen you smile."
Oh.
So
That's really cute.
So I do like being cheeky.
Yeah. Be a little
But
snarky.
I'm not sure that's really enough of a life goal to say it's the most exciting thing.
But it makes you happy. It's something that brings joy to you and the life that you live.
I'm sure they won't notice.
That's true.
Do we put the briefcase in the box? Or do I burn it?
Oh, I don't know. Did we get an instruction manual for this job?
If you look on your scroll wheel, we have a thing. Objectives.
Oh, there it is.
Cleaned. Mandatory silence. Dishonoring the company will not be tolerated. Any valuables left are to be reported to the head office immediately.
Oh wait, do we bring money to the thing like the tags?
I don't know, maybe. I could test it. I'll grab a wad.
Like
Bring it to the front. I'm ramming money on it. It's not doing anything.
Alright.
I don't know.
Must be the trunk then.
Okay. Hopefully it is.
We also could look it up.
I could. I'll just put the briefcase here then. Till I hear back. I mean, we could also test with the sniffer, see if it's considered dirty or not.
Well, like those boxes on the haunted house map. The slasher flick map.
Yeah.
The reason we didn't get 100% on that is because we were supposed to take all the cardboard boxes out to the driveway.
Mm-hmm.
So those weren't registered as dirt.
That is true. You make a good point.
My character is whistling.
Yeah. Do you feel like you have more to say on the topic, or do you want to go to the next question?
I'm still not entirely satisfied with that answer because it was not profound in the way I wanted it to be.
I see.
But
okay.
also I've got that complete blank for what even else is there to say. So I think yeah, it's time to move on.
So, from what I understand, the thing that brings you the most joy in life is being snarky with friends. Or just being a nuisance sometimes.
That's the mechanics of it.
Okay.
But I don't feel like it gets to the actual end goal.
What is the end goal?
Gut response is getting a rise out of people, but that's overly broad.
Okay.
And there's certainly bad ways to do that that don't interest me at all.
Hmm.
So I guess I will... side grade that to say having an effect on people.
Okay.
Because things that I have been excited about in the past and have reacted happily to, they do fit that better definition of having an effect, having an impact on people.
Okay. I think that makes sense.
Yeah, I think that one, I'm happier with that one.
Okay. Excellent.
So we'll take another roll. 7.
7. Hey. 7 is... Who is someone you like?
Well, you, of course.
Of course. You know the joke already. You watched them. Yeah. Like, to be fair, that was my first instinct when I watched it the first time, was to say that, but... Oh.
Frankly, I'm just disappointed not everybody has said it.
Oh, well... I think nearly everyone
Like,
has
everyone
said
gets to it eventually, but it's not always snappy.
I see. Well, besides me... But anyone else?
Well, besides you... I am very, very fond of Juniper Ram.
Yeah.
He is a good.
A good?
The thing I would like to highlight about him here is that he's very much on that radical acceptance train.
Okay, what does that mean?
Hey Juniper, I'm thinking of starting an OnlyFans.
Oh,
okay, cool.
I see.
Hey Juniper, I did this. I don't really agree with that at all, but, like, yeah, I hope it made you happy.
Okay. Yeah.
Like, hey, I want to do this. That's really not something I usually do, but I guess I could try it. He's you know, he's very much the sheep. You start to push and you just get wool.
I see.
Wool all the way down. And it's like gradually increasing resistance if it's something that he's really not comfortable with. But otherwise it's a very soft, either he's got you for this, or it's like yeah, he's got your back, or otherwise it's just a very soft response. A very I accept this but have no interest in it.
Okay. I like that. I have not had a lot of time to get to know Juniper, but
would recommend. 10 out of 10.
Alright, cool. I will try to get to know them a bit more then.
Alright, I keep forgetting I'm driving.
Yep. You gotta do the rolls.
14. I am amazed
14.
I haven't had any more doubles since the start.
A lot. 14. Outside of race, gender, and career, how would you describe yourself?
Let's see. Well, career, I guess I can't say entertainer. So here I'll default to another one that trips the, oh, am I doing the thing? It's... Alright, I hitched on that one. I know what I want to say, but it's difficult to say it because it is, in my opinion, rather self-serving to have such a high opinion of myself as my opening definition. And it is, I see myself as the hero. In the JRPG sense, the guy with the class hero does a little bit of everything, and every party member is then a specialist in that.
Ah, okay. So you think, so what aspect of that do you align with the most? Is it the ability to do a little bit of everything? Or something else?
Not just the ability, but the obligation to do a little bit of everything.
Okay.
Like, in a creative medium, you have to do a bit of everything. You have to be the editor, and the cameraman, and the voice, and the writer. As you are no doubt aware.
Yeah. Very much aware, yeah. I guess... Yeah? Go ahead.
Yeah, thank you for your patience. I feel like there's more to this, if I can track it down.
Okay.
So, there's also one of my fondest memories in video games was playing Cycle Frontier with my, friends and relatives. At one point, my cousin, because that's the best I can do to remember what that relationship actually is. Cousin. I keep bringing things to the wrong spot. My cousin said, like, oh, I found somebody. Oh, shoot, I'm in trouble. And there's that status update. He got to the point of, I'm dead. And he actually wasn't. He had said it a second before because he didn't see a way out. And it was the, just be aware that I'm not here to help you anymore. Status update, I'm dead. But
yeah,
I just happened to be hurtling in at maximum speed. I managed to get there in time to... Having fun?
Yeah.
Managed to get there in time to take a bullet and then get him out of that jam.
I see.
So being that last second right there was... That is really, really, that's what I live for. That's the kind of thing where you have to pay your dues of living normal days to have a day that good.
Yeah. Okay, I think I get it. I think that makes sense.
And
I feel like there's a better way of describing that, but I don't know how, but I think I understand.
Someone got medieval on his
I've got another whole side to this, but I'm not sure it really fits into the context of the question.
These doors! These doors are the worst! I don't like
Yeah,
them.
I guess I'll go for it. I'll throw in one more ramble to this answer.
Okay.
Is a moment in an anime that really, really got to me on an emotional level.
Yeah.
Are you familiar with Welcome to Demon School Iruma-kun?
No. I'm not familiar with that.
Damn automatic.
Well,
I can
Alright.
ascend. I can.
Okay, first off, it's a fantastic show. It's very funny and charming.
Okay. I can assume the premise just from the title.
Yeah. Everybody's got their own little magic thing. And there's a scene fairly late on where, I guess spoilers, I'm going to be kind of vague posting, but spoilers, there's a scene very late on where a giant monster is about to annihilate a convention center full of people. And, of course, shonen protagonist is going to stop it, but in the process, two of the side characters did things that really resonated with me. Like there's
what?
one incredibly obnoxious character. His power is charisma. He has the ability to make anybody and everybody look at him for a second.
I see.
And, like, after it wears off, they can look away. But in that instant, they have to look at it. And so, as the giant monster is charging up its turbo death ray, he jumps up behind it and says, "Look at me!" And it turns away. It turns towards him. And then he realizes what he just did, screams and runs. But in that instant... Oh, there goes the pot.
Yep,
in that instant, he said, "Look at me." And it was the right thing to do.
I see. Okay.
And on the other half of that scene, in that convention center, everybody in there is understandably freaking out because they are in there as a shelter from that enormous monster.
Oh.
Everybody is having a bad time. One of the characters, like, her thing is that she's secretly a world-famous pop idol.
Oh.
Yeah, so she looks around and sees, oh, even if we survive this, these people are all going to be traumatized. This is already a win for the person who put the monster here. I need to do something about this. So she takes off her disguise, goes up on stage, and puts on a concert. And everybody forgets that there's a life-threatening monster outside. At the end of the day, people aren't traumatized because they almost died. People are excited because, wow, can you believe that we ended up in a bunker with her and she gave us a show? Incredible.
I see. I think people are a bit more messy than that, but I appreciate the message.
But it's the nice story.
Yeah.
It's the thing to focus on. It's the, if you're swearing, you can tolerate more pain. It's the playing Mario. If there are blocks under, like, only the top block matters. You can find an image online that did you just take a painting?
Did I?
That's a box.
No.
I'm
trying to write this box right ways, and I forgot how to do that.
Left click while you're holding it.
There we go, thank you.
But oh, what was I saying?
Here's
I
a
was giving
piece
an
of
example. Oh
jade.
yes, the Mario example.
Mm-hmm.
It's very, very clear visually. As soon as you see it, you get what it's saying. Is that the context around the problem can really affect how you perceive it.
Mm.
And the example it gives is one of the early levels where there's all these little gaps you have to hop across, and they are on stacks of blocks. And then it shows the same scene again, but they edit out all the blocks except the top ones. So instead of being jumping from stick to stick, you're jumping from isolated platform in the sky to isolated platform in the sky. It is literally everything about that. There is no effect on the difficulty. But not having those sticks underneath is scarier.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I think I understand. Do you feel like, there's more to say?
No, I'm feeling like it's about time to roll again.
Okay.
18.
Yeah, but that's okay. That's fine. Evens or odds?
1. Oh, we're not friends anymore.
No. What frustrates you the most about life?
Ooh. I feel like I had an answer for this at some point.
Yeah.
But on an existential scale, what frustrates me? It frustrates me that the incentives of living as a person can very much have a negative impact on like the state of living as a person.
Can I have an example?
Well, to go with an extreme and silly example, a stranger in a white van offers you your favorite candy.
Oh.
And the incentive there is to keep yourself safe because this is a stranger offering something that may contain more than just what is offered. However, like,
where these idiots even
if it's the truth, there's no way of knowing that. And there is no way of finding that out because that is an insurmountable incentive to not do that. There will never be someone who finds that out.
Yeah, I think that makes sense.
As they say.
The tragedy
is
of the commons.
Yeah.
Like, oh man, I better take what I can get right away before the whole thing disappears because I can't trust other people not to make this disappear.
Yeah.
And in doing that, everybody makes it disappear when it didn't have to.
Yeah.
So the incentives are very different from the ideal.
Yeah, I agree with that. That is frustrating. My gosh, this map is huge.
Yep.
A very big map. The top floor doesn't have a lot on it.
Fortunately.
But it's there.
18!
18! Alright. Why did you agree to the game we were playing?
Well, because I wanted something with a presence or potential for extreme violence, but also not have that be the point.
I
Our
see.
other plan here was Monster Hunter.
Mm-hmm.
And that also fits this description. We were meant to be fishing, but there's also just the possibility that a basilgoist comes flying in and we stab it in the face.
Yeah. There's always that possibility with the bagel goose.
Yeah, oh, well, look at that. We've been walking past this head for a good while now and just left it on top of the display case.
Oh.
But that is really a thing with me. Like, I really enjoy the band The Chalk Eaters. Their song that put me onto them in the first place is Eternal Horizons. You remember back when Doom Eternal and Animal Crossing New Horizons came out on the same day?
Yeah.
Yeah,
There's
so
a
they
lot
made
of
a song
camaraderie.
where Isabella and Doom Guy are just, you know, having a lovely, pleasant, idyllic life in town. And then also, occasionally she goes to hell with him and rips a demon in half.
I think I might have seen that.
And it's just like, oh, it's just really what she needs. That balance is really... She's loving life. This has really improved her state of being. It's just, things are good. Things are good here. Whoop, there goes a gun.
Yeah.
I guess I was gonna grab the gun, but I will instead steal this from you.
I will grab the gun instead.
It works.
Yes.
So, definitely would recommend Eternal Horizons. It's a bop. And it's got a cute little music video, but the music video version isn't the whole song.
Yeah. I think I've seen the music video version. But it is very cute, yes. I'm yawning. We're doing this in the morning. So, like, I woke up a whole while ago. Apparently I'm still waking up.
I dream of the days when I will be back to that, because for me, 5:30 is a normal wake up.
Oh gosh.
I don't like it.
Yeah, I hope you get to that new normal too. That sounds miserable.
The new normal 2? Yes, that was a 2 I just rolled.
Oh, okay. Evens or odds?
Evens.
Why do you do what you do?
Did we do that one already?
We did something similar.
Why do I do what I do? Well, partly because, well, talking about why do I wake up at 5:30 is because nobody else would hire me.
Oh, that's a shame.
Yeah, there have been some life philosophies that I've been made aware of. It's like, I hope something good happens to me. And if not, I at least hope it's funny. And that one, I feel like I get that one a fair bit. Like, I have the good things happen to me. Call a bunch of apartments, only one of them calls back, I walk in and basically immediately rent the place and it's great for several years. It's like, okay, cool, I'll take it.
Wonderful.
Or just pile out job applications, pile them out, nothing. Get a crappy Facebook ad for a job. I'm like, okay, sure, why not? And, well, called me back almost immediately. Had a real whirlwind of getting onboarded. Like, they straight up did not train me. Which is
the last job
considering the industry.
Yeah, the last job I had did something very similar. It was like, ooh, ooh, ooh. Anyway, as you were.
Yeah, but, I'm gonna burn this briefcase.
Alright.
But yeah, so I at least got the story of it. I got the story of I answered a Facebook ad for this job. Like, not even Facebook jobs or anything, if that's a thing. Ever since I saw Facebook dating, I just don't question anything. Oh, Facebook's doing that now? Cool.
Yeah.
Not really cool, but, like, I will question this no further.
Yes.
You have a lot of lamps. where was I going with this? Why do I do what I do? Okay, so the base answer was, well, they were the only ones who would hire me, and also, why do I try to be functional at this job beyond the bare minimum for not getting fired, which I sense is not the highest bar to cross in an industry with this much churn.
Yeah.
So why do I do that then? And
Why do you do that?
well, I guess it goes back a third time to that bit of magic from earlier. Because there isn't magic inherently in the world, and I have to put it there. This isn't where money goes.
So you might as well put it where you are?
Yeah. Though on the flip side of it, there is the need to escape because, sure, it's a net gain. However, net gains can and will also drain me personally. If one drop from me is a whole splash for somebody else, I can still run out of drops.
Yeah.
And that was my primary concern starting to work with kids, and it is absolutely coming true.
That is fair. Although you've been working on some children's stories in the meantime.
Yeah, I need to... Well, that's also a thing that has been fun but also draining, because, like, oh man, I really want to set up a story time, because I've got a half a dozen stories I want to tell these kids.
Yeah.
And then, like, okay, cool, but now it's 8 months in, and this isn't story half a dozen, this is story, like, 80. And they want a new one every day. Though I did manage to get them distracted for a while by bringing out a Roald Dahl book. So we read about the witches, and that took a good month, 5 weeks, 6 weeks, I don't know, it took a good while.
I feel like we're just about done.
I believe it.
I don't know what else there is. I feel like we've picked up everything.
Oh. Aha, broken glass in the middle.
Ah, there's always the glass.
So I think that pretty well covers why I do what I do.
Okay.
Does it? Well, maybe I'll think of something more later. I've certainly been taking that license plenty. It's like, oh, also, I thought of this. I'm going to talk about it for 20 minutes.
No, it's fine. Take your time. It's okay. You want to roll again?
18!
18! Alright, hold on. What is your most prized possession and why?
That one is tricky. Because I have a most expensive possession, is probably my VR stuff, but also, I think that would not be my most prized. I think my most prized possession would probably be one of my knives.
Okay.
Because I have one particular knife, which I tragically learned later on is almost an exact replica of the knife from Scream, which I watched, and I just don't really like that movie. I almost hated the Halloween costumes, and I don't really care for the movie either.
Oh. But you have a replica.
Well, it's still a very pretty knife. And I like having my knives. I like having my knife, well, I've got my little fold-up pocket knife that is with me all the time. It feels like not having fingernails when I don't have that thing in my pocket.
Okay.
But this one, I think the significance comes from it has a story to it, and that story is very much in line with the story of me. because it was a graduation gift for myself. Back when I decided that I would not buy any more knives without a specific purpose for why I needed that one.
Okay.
And the specific purpose of this one was like, hey, I'm graduating. I deserve to buy myself something fancy.
Mm-hmm.
And it is a bit of agency in the world. Like, probably the most significant moment I ever had with it was I was in a previous living situation in not a good place. And I was in the kitchen just suffering because I was making dinner and the kitchen knives we had were just thinly stamped sheet metal pieces of garbage. I was immensely suffering from having these terrible knives as the only things I could work with. I wish I had an actual sturdy kitchen knife to work with. I wish I had a knife. I do. I do have a knife. And it's not the easiest thing to use a knife with a... There's a solid finger guard on this thing. It is... You really have to be at the edge of the counter if you want to chop right down to the surface with it. But having this solid knife that would not wobble and bend and threaten to break every time I cut a potato, that was very much reclaiming agency in a bad situation.
Yeah. I like that. It's a very good story.
Thank you. I wonder if I can stand on this lamp. Not jumping like that, I can't. One more try.
Where are you? Where are you trying to...
Ah, here we go. 9. Haven't rolled that one yet.
9. We have 19.
Can I stand on that?
Alright, 9 is... What do you like about yourself?
I apologize in advance for this display case I am about to break.
Oh no.
Whee! I missed. Oh, that angle. What do I like about myself? I missed again.
Are you trying to break the display case?
I want to see if I can stand on it.
Okay.
And I expect my feet to break it. Breaking it is not the point. It didn't break! Okay,
Nice.
but, what do I like about myself? I could say I like my sense of humor. I could say I like being quick. I think what I will say instead is that I like how I can find a way to play. Because I fundamentally believe that playing is how we learn to interact with the world. And that extends not just to babies figuring out that feet exist, but also to... Ooh, impressive.
Yeah.
But also to the art gun. The artist who made a whole bunch of models around the Weary 101 with Takahata and all them. They have really done some playing around in the concept of making this art. Like they, as far as I can tell, started the wave of chibis, where people with complicated models also just had a nicely drawn smaller model that they could use. That is in some pose that really fits with their character. Their own model. It's this androgynous fairy in a suit, and it's like, oh, that's super cool. But also their chibi version is them sitting, like, one leg over the other holding a mug. There's Takahata 101. He's a bartender, but in his chibi model, he is midway through a suplex and just hanging out like that.
Goodness.
Artgun made another one where they kept the facial rigging, but instead of putting it on a face, they just put their facial features on a puddle of goo. So it's like, it's one of those days. Model becomes puddle of goo, and they just stream like that for a bit.
I see. I like
That
that.
is very much playing in that space, and in doing so, they're the first one to do it. They're advancing the whole medium. It is vitally important.
Yeah.
It is artistically valid. It's all kinds of wonderful things.
In I want to say the richest time of my life, not rich as in money, but like the most fulfilling time of my life, was when I gave myself permission to play.
Oh.
And because I grew up in a family that didn't like play, like it really was looked down on, so I never really learned how to do it properly. So when I gave myself that permission to just mess around and play, it was a very fulfilling time of my life. So I agree with that. I think play is very important. Even as adults, I would say it's even more important. Oh my goodness. What have you done?
I'm not entirely certain. I was on the other side of the room when I started doing this.
You've made a mess.
Was I in a completely different room?
No.
No, here.
You just got flung to a corner.
Well, I am very happy to hear that you... Do you still play?
I try to, but not as effectively as I used to.
Oh.
I've been in survival mode for a very long time, and I haven't had the opportunity to just relax and be vulnerable and play. I've been too busy trying to survive to do that.
Yeah. In there, it is no fun.
Nope. Alright, do we want to try a new map?
Sure.
Alright.
Let's try the little tiny small one. I feel like that's a thing. Or we could do the thing.
One? I don't quite remember
we'll
which
figure
maps.
something out.
We're gonna have to load up a different game entirely.
There's a way to do it from inside the options menu.
Really? Okay.
I think so. Alright. Make your choice to exit. I am proud of my performance.
Mm-hmm.
Oh. I have to approach my lead technician and ask them for permission to leave the worksite.
Oh, okay. It's funny that the only green box is no, I'm not done yet. You're checking the machine. They want you to be here forever. I don't care. I'm down here. The union's got my back. Here we go.
And how'd we do? Promoted!
Yay! He cautiously left the site with a burgling trunk filled with blood money. During your thorough cleaning, you amassed a total of $3,875,000 from the area. You can only hope that no one will notice its absence. You attempt to hide your smirk. Upon returning to the office, your colleagues are sure to punish you for doing a good job. But as long as they don't find your rainy day fund, all is good.
Yay!
Yay! I think this is the first time I've been promoted. Oh my goodness.
Hey.
Okay, so how do we...
There's a letter for you.
Here it is?
Yeah.
What is this?
Right here, I'm holding it.
Okay. From Sender Hidden, subject a little something sweet. Dear colleague, you will get away with it no longer. You don't know who I am, but I know you, and I have great plans for you. I know what every meal you consume may very well be your last. Sorry, know that every meal you consume may very well be your last. I'll leave a little something sweet in it. Something poisonous. No longer will you take promotions from me. Soon. Yes, soon. This is a very hyper-competitive work environment.
Yeah.
Alright, new map. Not in there, no. How do I... Is this the menu? No. Close.
98%.
Yeah. There was one or two things that we missed, I guess. What did... you soaked the floor! Ah!
It was thirsty.
The floor was thirsty. I'm gonna... Is it okay if I leave the office?
Yes, that might be necessary.
Okay.
Okay, so options. Office?
I don't think
no.
so. I think we have to...
I think you are right.
Okay. New game. Did you slip on something? Yes. I did slip on something.
Oh hey, there were only 2 achievements for that.
Okay, cool.
Delightful, we've completed it.
Wonderful.
I'll feel a little bit iffy about allowing old games to cause changes to my computer because it's like, I
There's a chance.
really don't need these things they are offering.
Yeah.
I've got some games that actually don't work unless you say, no, you can't install anything.
Really? Wow.
Yeah, it's just so convinced I need, like, DirectX 4. I say, like, no, I'm fine. I'm fine without that. But you don't have DirectX 4! No, I'm fine. I think 12 will do all right.
But you need 4, specifically!
Don't have 4!
Personifying computers is really funny. It's really cute. You're such children sometimes.
There's a scene in Schlock Mercenary, lovely webcomic, definitely worth reading, where all the AIs are coming together for a big meeting, and it's like, dramatic. The first one shows up, then the second one. Hi, I'm AI1. Ah, you're AI2. Nice to meet you, AI2. I'm AI. Nice to meet you, AI1. I'm AI2. They do that.
Yeah.
Then a third one shows up. Ah, hi, I'm AI1. I'm AI3. Nice to meet you, AI3. Nice to meet you, AI1. Hi, I'm AI2. I'm AI3. Nice to meet you, AI2. Nice to meet you, AI3. And it just like they start forming this bigger and bigger line going through this whole process every single time because that's actually how handshake protocols work. That's how computers say hi.
Oh goodness. That is a nightmare.
The only difference is it takes them a fraction of a second.
That is true, yeah. Yeah. But imagine drawing like endless comic pages of that. That's a lot of work. So I have to download the game. So would you like to roll again while we wait?
Sure. There's a can of Fat Man beer here. See, this is why I was making you wait at the start, was because I was downloading the game.
Ah.
Alright. Here comes the roll. 11.
11. 11 is... Oh, we already did 11. Okay, so evens or odds?
I think I said evens last time, so let's go odd.
What about yourself inspires you?
Huh. What about me inspires me? I would say it's the fact that I have managed to make myself go out and do things. because in high school that was a real like I had a friend crush on one of my friends because like and I specify friend crush, not regular crush or man crush, because those are distinct feelings, not passing judgment. They're just the different one. It was like, oh man, he goes out and does stuff. He goes out and canoes. It's not just that he like chooses to go out and do that recreationally. That's so cool.
Yeah.
He's got a bird feeder full of 22 bullets because he shoots at squirrels on it. Actually, his whole family does that. That's a family activity.
Wow, interesting.
The squirrels are not supposed to be eating from that bird feeder.
Okay.
Yeah, so at this point, I have managed to go out and do things. I went to a night market at a pole dancing studio and got myself a pair of shorts that are... It is night and day how much more hip mobility I have in these things. It is delightful. I can actually get thigh grips. Actually, no, it's horrible. I can actually get thigh grips. Ow, 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 ow. I hate thigh grips so much. But
why did I want this?
Exactly. And like also there's the other downside of like, woof, this I would rate the fit of these shorts as sorry to anybody who didn't ask to see that, and you're welcome to anybody who did.
Nice. I feel like that's a common thing in pole dancing class.
Yeah,
Although
they often say that in some of the earlier classes. Yeah, the longer you stay with this, the less clothing you wear. You just want to get that grip. Sorry, I cut you off. You were saying.
Sorry, what?
You were saying, I cut you off.
No, it's fine. I think I finished what I was trying to say.
All right. I guess the one thing that I haven't done yet, but it's still on the to-do list, probably in the next couple of weeks, I saw that a bunch of the kids at work had been issued recorders, and it was just really obnoxious because they don't inherently know what to do with it, but they've discovered that they can make a loud, awful tweeting sound with it.
Yes, you can.
So they make a loud, horrible tweeting sound with it. Partly as an... You know what? I'm gonna say it's entirely as an example. Half as an example of... Look at how, like, look at this. Look at me being good at this. And also, hey, look, there's actually more you can do that isn't a horrible tweeting sound. I have picked up a $3 recorder from the dollar store.
Yeah.
And I've been learning to play it.
Nice.
I've discovered that it's not actually that hard to play the Gummy Bear song on recorder. It's hard to listen to it.
Yeah, I'm sure.
But it's
you can
still better than Hot Cross Buns.
Over and over and over again.
I'm also trying to teach myself the Wind Waker theme. The Wind Waker theme is rather difficult.
So, the first time I had a recorder as a child, the first song that I tried to learn, I didn't go online because I didn't have access to the internet. I wasn't allowed on the internet to learn how to do it properly. But I figured out, at least to my child brain, approximately, how to do the Dragon Roost, the Rito theme song.
Oh, dang.
Yeah. Or at least one part of it.
I just had that one pop up on my recommended the other day. That one's not simple.
No, but I loved the song a lot, and so I just tried to make it happen on the recorder. I don't know if it actually came out the way I imagined that it did as a kid, but that's something I did. I'm sure it annoyed everyone, but I would be outside and I'd play it, and it was nice. Recently, so I've been playing Tears of the Kingdom, and I recently realized that that song remains when you go to the Rito village. You can hear the melody of Dragon Roost in the theme that's there. And, like, if you pay really close attention, it's there. And so I spent, like, 10 minutes just listening to it, because it brought back a lot of childhood memories of Dragon Roost. No, I relate. And
right, medium or small?
sorry, what?
Medium or small map?
Um, probably a medium. We still have quite a bit of questions left.
Ooh. All right. Something about this one appeals to me. Game rules, disable sniffer. Why would I want that? Ghost mode? That's... Well, maybe we should try ghost mode on stream sometime. That sounds kind of awful.
What is ghost mode?
All the character models are invisible.
Oh, that's awful. I hate that. That'd be great on stream. So do I need to go to the office, or how do I do this?
No, you can just go from, like...
Oh, right, I join.
You can play game and then join. I haven't quite hosted it yet.
Okay. But you'll show up.
We'll start work. Yeah, there we go. It's just making sure it was a private game, because I didn't want some rando showing up. Tragic events within the facility's waste disposal sector have led to an unusually unhygienic situation.
Oh! I'm 61 years old. Janitor 1. And I think you're my superior. Yeah, I think you're my superior.
Oh yes, I'm a junior executive janitor.
Oh! Fancy! Well, I guess we'll start burning stuff. Because, I mean, like...
Incredible. So you know how you could use the water feature to clean up last time?
Yeah.
You can't.
The opposite here. Aww. It's too dirty.
Dip, see what you get.
I think I can assume. But I'll do it anyway. I'm assuming it's gonna dirty my mop. Yep. It's gross and dirty. Lovely.
Oh, man, we are also just mopping a sewer at this point.
Yep.
Keep in mind, we are required to clean whatever filth will come off the walls.
Mm-hmm. I don't know where the thing is for the USBs are.
Excuse me, horrible bucket coming through.
Where's the USB? Oh, there it is, I found it. Hey,
Yay.
take my USB! Oh my gosh. There we go, got it, okay.
I bet there's a bonus objective about crates or something.
Probably.
Look for stripes on the ground, marking out an area of some sort. Okay, anyways. 20!
20! Nice crit.
Thank you.
20. What is something you're proud of?
Something I am proud of. I will say that it is something I have completed. And so what are some things I have completed? I am proud that I have, on YouTube, and have for quite a number of years, an animated chess game that I made in high school.
Oh!
3D animated, whole thing completely from scratch. It was also the origin of my obsession with the phrase, extrude nerbs. Because that's a button that I made quite a bit of use of. What in the world is this?
What does that do?
Oh, it extrudes the nerbs.
Of course. Of course. I should have known.
Like, I ended up with a lot of hurling horn designs, because you take one polygon and then it, like, stretches it out and curls it around.
Uh-huh.
So that general idea.
Yeah. So, 3D chess game.
Yeah. Oh, to be clear, it is not a playable game, it is an animation of a game.
Right. Right, of a game. I want to go look at that. I might go look at that after the recording. Are you proud of it because you made it, or is there something else to it? Just...
I am proud of it because I made it, because it turned out nicely.
Okay.
Also, I am proud that I've been keeping up the streaming for 2 years.
That is true. It's, that's been a thing that you've been doing. And have you been enjoying it the last 2 years?
Yeah.
Wonderful.
I occasionally glance back and realize, like, oh, wow, I really have come pretty far.
Mm-hmm. Like what, as an example?
Crap, starting fires. Ignore that. Not proud of starting fires just now. That was an accident.
Of course.
How big is this map?
I asked you a question, but I forgot what the question was. I'm sorry.
Something I'm proud of.
Yeah, but it was in relation to streaming. You said you learned stuff.
Have I been having a good time?
Yeah.
I think, yeah.
I wanted...
Yes, I have been enjoying it. And also, I am enjoying seeing how far I have come.
Yeah.
I occasionally reference the back in Crying Suns. It took me like 4 or 5 times around before I discovered that, oh yeah, like this first planet that I go to in a system that has someone talking, this is the exposition dump planet. And I will be talking to this character for 20 to 30 minutes. And I only learned that after being surprised. Difficult times when I'm talking to a character who sounds like this, and I'm like, oh boy, after minute 10 or so, boy, this one really starts to get a little bit rough to keep up. Yeah, this voice is it's not so kind on the old voice box, but here I am. He just won't shut up. He's got opinions on so many things, and he just keeps going and going. Oh, yeah, this one is the exposition dump planet, so don't give them a horrible, shrieky voice that I can't keep up.
Oh gosh. I agree. That sounds like torture. Have you gotten better about doing that,
it was
or
real educational?
Yeah.
But yes, I have gotten better about finding ways to do things that don't hurt my throat.
Good.
Like the Batman voice, you can do it as growly as you can, and you can really tear up your throat to do the Batman voice, and you can get pretty close. Most people can do an impression of it. But you can also dial it back. You can still get a reasonable something. You can get an identifiable voice that sounds almost the same. It sounds like the same voice, just done a little differently, just in a different mood, maybe. And this is something that can be kept up with the lower air pressure, with the lower clamping down at the back of the throat. This is something that can keep going for quite a while. If this one can go for as long as it needs to, and that is a skill that I would not have developed if I hadn't been streaming. It is that practice, that long-term practice, that let me get here.
Awesome. I love that. I'm glad that you're able to practice voice work using streaming as an excuse. That's great. I love that.
Me too, because that was one of the original stated goals of streaming, was I can't count on getting cast in things, and I need to make sure I'm practicing on a regular basis and with incentive to actually keep doing it. So if I've got 3 to 5 people who are going to be like, hey, where were you? If I don't show up, then yeah, I show up.
Alright, fair enough. Sounds like a good deal. Oh gosh.
Excuse me.
I will
Bucks
move out
coming
of your way. I could hear it before I saw you.
The squelching and thumping from the distance.
The tingling of loose casings.
Oh, yep, there were a few of those in there. I keep going to the wrong dispenser. That's so much garbage.
Oh. I spilled that all over myself. Alright, I'm gonna do something else besides mopping. Things that are gonna continuously get dirty.
Yes. You could find the end of one of these tunnels and mop there. They are desperately in need of mopping.
I'll go down this one.
And in the meantime, I think it sounds like time to roll again.
Yeah. What new question? 1. I feel like
Have we done question 3 yet?
Yes, we have done question 3.
Alright. I guess I'll go odds.
Well, we haven't done 1 yet.
We haven't?
No.
I rolled a 1. I made the joke. I made the we're not friends anymore joke. Did we not do 1?
That was for something else. I don't know what it was for, but we haven't done 1. 1 is, why did you accept the invitation?
Why did I accept the invitation? Well, I accepted this invitation because I have been chomping at the bit, anxiously awaiting this since the day that Solidus's interview went up. I have been like, oh boy, I've been very patient, I think.
I think so too. You haven't DM'd me and been like, hey, when is it my turn? You just waited until I said, hey, you want a turn? And then you were like, yes.
Like, yes!
So, cool. So you accepted because you were a fan of the previous interviews. Excellent. I'm glad you're enjoying the interviews.
Partly the previous interviews, partly just the I've been thinking of doing an interview series, and yes, I would like to be involved with that very much. I listen to so many podcasts.
Just add this one to the pile.
Exactly.
But yeah, I'm glad you enjoy this stuff, and I hope I can continue to maintain it. But we'll see. I still have plenty of people I'd still like to interview, and hopefully I can find the time to make that happen. Is there more to that question? Or do you think you got it?
I could give it a whole different answer, but I think I am satisfied with the because I've been waiting.
Alright.
I think this encapsulates things pretty well.
Bob, I finally reached the waste disposal sector in hopes of having a respite. The things I've seen while fleeing truly typical of these bastards. I've done only what I had to do. People won't understand. I don't care anymore. Screw them all. I plan to make for the docking area and hopefully still wait on the next ship off the station. They will never find me. Someone's been unhappy. Oh, I should probably put that note in the box. Corporate probably wants that.
Oh, maybe.
Instead of burning it. You know, maybe I'll get promoted for snitching.
Primary objective: find your way through the waste sector. Secondary objective: endanger the neighborhood. The waste sector is the only way through to the labs. Reports indicate that the alien life forms have been nesting in this entire sector. Exercise extreme caution. Reach the outflow pumping station and access the labs.
Okay. Ah! This hand is unruly!
My hands are unruly.
They often are. Oh no! Oh no! I'm making a mess.
Oh no.
Oh no. Oh no!
I better roll. 12.
12. 1 second. Have we done 12? We have not done 12. When was the last time you were validated?
Well, I mean, you've been validating me throughout this. But apart from you, I was very, very definitely feeling quite validated yesterday. When, at the end of an open gym, I was talking to someone at the pole studio, and... oh, I can't remember how we got to it, but she asked, like, so what do you do? Do you do voice stuff? And I said, yes, and started running through a little demo of, like, yeah, it's something that you can sink into, and you get to a point where you can remember certain voices, and you've got those certain voices that you can bring along, and you have to remember what they are, because it's not just doing a voice, it's also putting a character to it. Like, he's the guy, but he's also feeling kind of mad. He's frustrated right now. And then the person that he's talking to, she doesn't really get mad. She's not very emotional. She's always kind of smug about it. And when I did that switch, her eyes widened in shock.
Oh, that's great. Like, oh my god, she can do that.
That was very affirming.
Wonderful. I'm glad you had that. Oh,
Thank you.
This is full of dead people. I'm gonna burn it.
Also bullets.
And bullets, yes. Bodies and bullets. Yeah. But yeah, I'm glad you had that. That's great. Affirmations are wonderful. Nah.
Next up, 14.
14. We have done 14. So, evens are odds.
We'll go with evens.
What is something that scares you?
It scares me to think the thought of being ostracized from spaces like I used to be on a cheer team, from like the pole studio, being ostracized for being a creep. And it scares me even more to think of that happening for a good reason. The idea that I might be so unaware of the effects of my behavior that I am become a monster and have no concept of it.
Yeah, that is pretty scary. Have you encountered that before, or is that just something that scares you?
I have encountered something like it before, but the... oh, dang it, this is kind of... yep, the pile of corpses.
In the box.
I have encountered something like it before, but as the years go on, I consider the source, and, you know, don't accept criticism from people you wouldn't go to for advice. And this person very much fits that description.
I see. Still, it sticks, and
Yeah.
the fact that that could be a possibility is scary. I hope that you never have to face that, because that sounds terrible.
It's a deep, dark fear. Boy, this guy has a lot of intestines.
I mean, normal people do. There we go.
Yeah, but normally they're a little more organized with them.
That's true.
This one got chopped up like someone who doesn't like to eat... like... This one got chopped up as though it were done by someone who does not enjoy the concept of spaghetti.
Interesting. That is a very interesting description. I like it.
Thank you.
Why do the med kids not stay? Just
Say again?
the med kits, I put them in, they beep green.
Oh.
They beep at me, and the lid still is open. Oh my god. I hate these med kits. Just stay. There. Ugh.
All right. 16.
You know what? I give up. They are never gonna be close. 16.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, 16 is... What is the hardest thing you've ever had to overcome?
I think that would be the lack of agency that I felt in what I have come to refer to as the bad year.
The dark times.
Yep. I was in a... I was in a... like, not a great place physically. It was just a very small apartment. The price was right, but... Geez, the landlord was not. You know how... I don't know if your grandma did this, but you know how the stereotypical grandma, especially the stereotypical Asian grandma, will just kind of wander into your house and judge your life choices and then wander off after telling you to do the dishes?
Yeah. I have not experienced that, but I know the stereotype. You did that on a regular basis?
Yeah, yeah. Oh, and also her husband, every time he showed up, like, I'm pretty sure it's her husband. He was, like, the handyman maintenance guy. But, anyways, every time he walked in, he would tell me to eat less. Pat me on the belly, say, it's like, when you eat, don't eat 100%, eat 70%, eat 80%, and then put the rest away for later. And then from that, you don't have, pat, you don't have this. You get strong like me. And I'm like, sir, I'm on a university sports team and I lift people for fun, sir.
I think I know what I'm doing. My
also,
goodness.
A woman who I presume to be their daughter came in with her 2-year business degree and gave me a 20-minute lecture on how to make a business out of being an actor.
Ah, that's the advice you asked for.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
Yeah, so there was that. Yeah, so that was the situation I was in. I had...
That sounds miserable. I'm so sorry.
90 square feet in that whole building that the landlady could not walk into with no warning. I asked her once, like, hey, could you give us a heads up when you're gonna show the place off? And her response was, you can't legally force me to do that.
No, I'm asking. Nicely.
Yeah, that's why I'm asking.
I'm glad you're not there anymore. That sounds miserable.
Me too.
I'm glad you're in a better spot.
It also didn't help that was also the summer where my student loans had fallen through and I was having trouble getting a job. And I distinctly remember a shining moment of hope. It was like, it was a summer of, oh man, I'm gonna be 5 minutes late for class. I will sit on the step of the house for another 10 minutes breathing heavily because it's too much. But also, at one point, in a dark room, laying sideways on a bed that just had this big pit in the center of it. Terrible bed, desperately needed to be replaced. Laying there, sort of sideways on it, watching YouTube on my phone, I encountered a video called "And the Raven Brought Fire." It is the third in... I think the name has been changed, but Warlord of Noodles. In their No Evil series in their No Evil animated series. And this one, it is a music video. It is telling the story of how these 3 sages and a great hero are trying with everything they have to stop this giant monster that is in the world known as the Black Tezcatlipoca.
Okay.
Which is a type of corn blight, because this series draws heavily on myths and legends, and not just specifically the westernized ones that we always get. This one draws heavily on Aztec stuff and Native American stuff, and it's so cool, it's wonderful, I love it. And the song in the background is an adaptation of, I think, an Edgar Allan Poe poem of the bells.
Hmm.
Give a loud alarm bells, iron bells. What a tale of terror now their turbulency tells. I don't remember the majority of the words, but like, oh, it's just... It's got something to it. It's a good listen.
Good song.
And laying there, being just so into this video, this... Like, it is not... The animation is not at the same polish or quality as Hell of a Boss, Has Been Hotel.
Yeah.
Those are also indie animation, but they're, like, much shinier. This one, you can see the pencil marks. You can see the anatomy and proportions aren't quite, like, good. But it's like, hey, this is a thing that was made by a person. This is a thing that was made by one person. One person
they put
sat
effort
down and made this thing until it started to exist. And now this is a thing that exists. And so it is a thing that can be done now. That a person can make something that matters this much. And so laying there, that was the start. That was the start of the upslope. That moment. From there, things were still bad, but from there I started counting. It's like, okay, today I am completely out of commission. I am completely non-functional today. Not going to class, not doing dishes, not doing anything, maybe even going out and buying food. I am out today. But it has been 5 days since the last time this happened. And the time before that was 4 days. And the time before that was 4 days. And the time before that was 3 days. So that was the part where I started getting out.
I see. Okay. Yeah, you put a lot of effort into that. And I'm glad you found something that encouraged you through it. That's awesome. I'm really glad that you're out and not there anymore.
Me too.
That sounds like it was really difficult.
It's a fun place to be.
Ah. I'm sure. Alright, so I think I can start cleaning up a hallway, start mopping up a hallway anymore. Anyway.
Yeah, I think we've got one or two that can be cleared out. Ooh, that one still has carcasses.
One of the shorter ones.
I doubt we actually have to purify the sewer water.
I don't think so. I mean, I don't know any way in which you would be able to do that, so...
Well, we've got that laser gun thing, which might be for fixing bullet holes. Oh, that's for bullet holes.
Yeah.
Hey, we still have the laser gun. That didn't get incinerated, right?
No. It's on the stairs.
Cool, cool. Because I remember we incinerated this last time. And got in trouble.
Yes. Indeed we did. Do you want to move on, or do you feel like there's more to say about that?
No, I think we are good to move on.
Okay.
16 again.
16. Alright.
12 again. We'll go with the evens and odds.
No, I got this. Look, I know what I'm doing. I'll get you a new question.
Cool.
How do you take care of yourself?
Well, often through food, often through... Boy, this makes a lot of fire.
Yes, it does.
Just keeps going. Anyways, often through food, often through... making sure that I am booking my one class a week at the pole studio, which technically my membership entitles me to 2 And I really ought to be
Ooh.
doing that, but you know, I make sure I get out at least once a week to get that exercise, to be in a place with other people.
Socialize.
Yeah. So there's the basic body care, there's the eating, there's the I'm very bad at sleeping lately. There's the going out to exercise, there's the fresh air. Sometimes I will just make myself stand outside because being outside is better than being at the computer. Because nothing outside gives me time to think. Nothing at the computer is its own beast.
Yeah, it is.
There's just laying on the floor occasionally.
It's
Fairly
floor
often,
time.
come to think of it. But yeah, just some good old floor time. If you're having a bad anything really, some floor time can help with it. Often won't fix it, but it can help. It helps go to sleep. It helps, like, in bed. Every second you're in bed and not sleeping, you're in bed. You're not sleeping. You're not sleeping in bed. Here you are, in bed. It's time to be asleep, and you are in bed, and you're not sleeping. You're not sleeping in bed. But, like, if you're not sleeping while laying on the floor, I mean, that's
just floor time.
That's to be expected. That's a floor.
You're not supposed to sleep on that.
Yeah. And so with that lack of pressure, sometimes you do end up taking a 5-minute nap. I somehow once I ended up taking the most restful 90-second nap of my life. I have no idea how that one worked out. It was a minute and a half and I felt just turbocharged. Wonderful.
I don't think I've encountered that before, but I wish I could. That sounds wonderful. Gosh.
Well, it was also, may have had some adrenaline. Like, just that perfectly timed adrenaline in the waking up of, like, oh shoot, I don't have an alarm on. I have 5 minutes before I need to leave, and I'm going to work.
Yeah.
And just that, like, oh jeez, it's time, but I've still got time. Cool, things worked out. Things worked out, yay.
I don't have to worry. Oh goodness. Alright, so this drainage pipe is clean besides some bullet holes. But besides that, it was clean. It was clean.
I am covered in various forms of goo. You can have that.
Okay, thank you.
I still haven't found anything that could be described as a bonus area, a put crates here area.
Not yet, anyway. Maybe that's in the lab. They keep talking about us needing to open it. Maybe it's in there. Next question, or do you have more you want to mention?
Let's go on to the next question.
Okay.
12.
12. We have done 12.
Alright.
Do you want to roll again, or should I give you a new one?
How many questions are we down to?
Let me see. I need to reorganize my counters.
18!
We've done 18.
12.
1, 2, 3. We have not done 4 yet.
12. I have to see if this is 12. 1.
1.
Okay, so let's move on to a question we haven't done yet, because we're down to like 6 or fewer, yes?
Yeah.
Okay.
So question number 4, hold on, is, do you make things?
Yes.
You do?
I have been doing a little bit of everything except cooking lately, come to think of it.
Really? Okay.
I have done some physical art. I recently saw a a sheep ornament at the dollar store. So I bought that, some painting supplies, and some modeling clay, and now I have a juniper on my shelf.
Aww. That's
Yeah,
very sweet.
That was actually my birthday, was just having a little paint night.
Ah, that's adorable. I love that. That's great.
I very much enjoy making memes to provide to people.
Mm-hmm.
Based off things they have done or things that made me think of them.
Oh yeah, I have a couple of those on my Twitters. I love those memes as well. They're very good. Very good memes.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. I have a bullet casing here.
Oh yeah, I guess also I do a stream. I make streams.
Mm-hmm.
I am partway through the process of recording a podcast. A scripted podcast called the Stargazer Initiative, in which I play Captain Phillips.
Okay.
Captain Phillips, hero of the Terran Empire, Republic, the Terrans, whatever they are. I won't get into too much spoilers.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm Captain Phillips.
I love it. That sounds great. I hope you have lots of fun with that project.
I have an audiobook on Audible.
Nice.
Used to have more than one, but so when you take the low cost, like the low priced, I found an armor in the sludge, an arm in the sludge. Anyways, when you take low paid jobs, there's a tendency between those and authors who don't know what they're doing, like the guy who basically tried to publish for profit Fortnite fan fiction.
Oh yeah?
And he clearly was not actually a fan of Fortnite and/or had ever played it in his life. So yeah, that was not a surprise when I got the email saying that it had been removed from their storefront.
Yep. Not surprised at all. But hey, you did something.
Yep, I got paid for it is what I did.
Nice.
Yeah, that story has kind of repeated itself. Apparently, Amazon also does the occasional crackdown on not actually... Like, there's this certain type of shovelware content where someone will basically pick 4 words out of a search engine optimizer and then hire a ghostwriter to write the minimum book length for it.
Yeah.
And then they hire someone on ACX to do the minimum necessary to make it an audiobook. And then they sell it to get that sweet, sweet passive income. 'Cause that's how you get rich these days, passive income, you know.
Yeah. Just upload slop
onto
the internet.
Is just not good. So I got paid for it, and it got removed.
Nah.
So currently, the only thing left, I'm pretty confident that the author did write it. It feels like original work.
Yeah.
And it is also the kind of book that I don't think I can advertise on YouTube.
Ah. Okay. But hey, you're getting paid for it.
It was fun, at least. Yeah. I got paid for it, and it was a fun experience, though.
Wonderful.
Some of the fun was definitely sending certain lines off to friends and giggling about it. It's like, that's not how that works.
But they wrote it.
Yep, they wrote it all right. And there's one chapter where it just switches to the female point of view for a while, and in my production notes, I was like, okay, so here's this chapter where all of a sudden I'm talking in a girl voice for 6 pages with no real warning. And are you sure about that one? You're sure? Okay, yes, you're sure. Yes, you're happy with it. Okay. I won't fuss. All right.
What you want?
You're the boss.
Goodness. All right. Well, at least you had fun with it.
Yeah. And that one is still up for purchase too.
Oh, that's good. You can put that on your resumes and such.
Certain resumes.
Certain ones, yes.
But yes, yes, I make things.
Wonderful. Beautiful.
Oh, got some bullet holes in the roof here.
I guess next question?
Sure. 2.
2. We've done 2. So let's do 6.
6? Alright.
Why do you really make things?
I think that one did get covered earlier in the various incarnations. I'm not sure what else I could say about this.
Just to put more magic into the world?
Yeah, there's that. And, like, I can't just say to get paid, because that's not the real reason. It's a reason.
That could be
certainly.
a reason, yeah.
Yeah, it's a reason, but it's not the that's not really why. I'm not here trying to strike it rich. Because, you know, the possibility is there, but it is not high. It is not a high possibility. Probability.
That's a better word for it, yeah. So do you want to move on to the next question then, or do you want to keep thinking?
Nah, let's move on.
Okay. Oh gosh, there's a bunch of messed up
17.
stuff in here. 17, we've already done.
Ah.
How about 19? Why did you agree to the game we are playing?
Oh, that one we did do.
We did? I thought.
Yeah.
I thought.
That was
why did
the presence of violence. I remember I was up on a balcony.
Oh
when we
yes,
answered
it
that.
was. Okay, you're right. We already did do that one. Okay. I did not mark that one down. I'm sorry.
How
Okay.
dare you.
In that case.
What kind of interviewer are you?
I know. Ramshackle one. That's me. So in that case, how about this question? If I can get to it. What is a question you wish for me to ask you?
Oops. Oh boy. What is a question I want to be asked that I haven't been asked yet?
Exactly.
I guess I'm gonna put part of this on you.
Okay.
Ask me my aesthetic in context. Like...
Aesthetic in
those-
context?
Yeah, so...
What does that mean?
The example I will give is... What class do you play in an RPG?
Ah.
Or... What gun do you use? Is there a video game weapon that you really vibe with? How do you always find yourself solving puzzles in Tears of the Kingdom? Something in that neighborhood, but specifically one that speaks to you.
I see. Okay. So I guess... What's your general aesthetic, I guess, of who you are? Like, how would you rather present yourself in day-to-day life? Like, if money was no object, how would you display your personal aesthetic?
I guess I do have an answer for this, but I'm not sure if it is a universal enough experience
Well, you can describe
actually make
it.
any sense, because I say I would go for older brother vibes, but maybe
Okay.
not older brother, maybe older cousin, and maybe specifically my older cousin Jamie.
Okay.
Because like when I was little, he was a fair bit older. When I was like 7, he was in his 20s.
Ah, yeah.
And so
Okay.
he was that, like, he had an actual sword. He had Ocarina of Time on an N64. He had a 3D video game system. And
Yeah.
it was so cool. He had tattoos. He was, like, super cool.
Yeah.
And cool in that way of, I don't really follow what's going on here.
Yeah.
It's like, I did not understand what Jamie did. Like, cool, he's so neat, but like, what was his job? What were his interests? I don't know. I just knew him there as that presence.
I see, yeah. Just that cool guy. That,
Yeah, but cool
Yeah.
guy with the trappings of, he does something, but I don't have the context to know what it is.
Okay,
So,
yeah.
Something I have done to, whoa, hurtling into a wall. Something I have done to fit or cultivate with that aesthetic is I bought myself a leather shoulder rig.
Oh!
I've got a set of pockets that I can just wear. It looks almost like a holster set, but it's pouches instead of holsters.
Ah. Okay.
And I like it a lot. Partly because it is something that I can actually wear and get use out of, because it's extra pockets.
Yeah.
It's extra pockets, and it's not a backpack. I can put it under a jacket. I can put it on when it's just, like, super hot and I don't want a big sweat mark down my back from wearing a backpack.
Yeah.
I can
extra
put it
pockets
on
are
if I'm
always very
going
good.
out and I really don't want to lose my keys because it's zippered pockets.
Yeah. Great. Oh, that I like that. I like that for you.
Yeah.
This is great.
Though I have had it for over a year now, and I definitely have not worn it enough to get my money's worth out of it, because, God, it was expensive.
Not
I
yet.
bought it for myself as a graduation gift from university, and
Nice.
yeah, it was expensive.
It just means you have to wear it more. And, you know, there's nothing wrong with that.
I have, like, painted myself into a corner. Definitely can't wear it to work, because that was one of the visual markers that day that I had been swapped out by my evil twin. Wore my hair down, and I was constantly, like, combing it to the side dramatically. I still, to this day, have kids ask, like, is that your actual hair? It's like, yes. Child, you've known me for 8 months. My hair has been this long the whole time.
Nothing has changed other than the hairdo. How
Like,
it's
I'm not even wearing
presented.
it differently. I wear this ponytail every day.
You see me. You saw me yesterday with the same hairdo.
You tapped me on the shoulder from behind yesterday.
Oh, children.
I feel like I'm gonna be able to laugh about this a lot more when I'm not in that situation.
I think so too. And I hope you're able to, because children
It's
are
type 2 cute.
fun to laugh at from a distance.
Yes, that is a good description.
Okay.
I guess I have one more thing to pad on to the end of that.
Okay.
Some of my behavior has been influenced. Have you seen that comic meme? I think it was a New Yorker comic. No, it was in the style of a New Yorker comic. Are you familiar with The Adventures of Lord No Kids?
No, I'm not. But
It's
I can
a couple
get
of
the...
very tired-looking parents with a stroller and a baby in it. And their friend, who's just wearing, like, a top hat, a sweater, a scarf, he's holding a cane, and he's not wearing pants, he's wearing tidy whities and rubber boots. And he's just, like, chilling there in the middle of a park. Hey guys, I just got back from motorcycle racing. Anyways, I think I'm gonna go follow this goose and see where I end up. Have fun!
Mm-hmm. Aww.
And that, like, not a visual aesthetic, for the most part. But that aesthetic of, yeah, I could go out and do a thing. A thing that does not have explicit value to it. But, I mean, it sounds fun.
I mean...
Might as well.
Why not do it, you know?
Yeah,
Why not follow a duck and see where you end up?
Well, I would... Okay, I would not follow a goose to see where I end up, because that's dangerous.
Yeah.
I ain't mess around with the cobra chickens.
Yeah, they're out for your soul.
They'll get you.
But our ducks aren't too bad.
They have some problematic behaviors.
Of course, every bird does, but not as bad as geese.
Yeah, geese are mean.
They are.
Mean geese. Yeah.
Right.
Oh, I think I half finished a thought from earlier. When I mentioned the recorder, it's on my to-do list to just take that recorder out to the river and sit on a bench next to the river and play recorder for an hour or two.
That sounds
like,
lovely.
I haven't done that yet. That's a thing I can do. I need to practice. I'm not supposed to have musical instruments in my apartment. Yeah, I'll do it out there.
Yeah. Sounds lovely. I like that. Sounds like a vibe.
So I guess it's a little bit that Instagram aesthetic. You did it to say that you did it, but also, like, to do it. Because it is
why not?
Kind of cool.
It's something to do.
Yeah.
Yeah. I approve of this message.
I'm satisfied with that answer.
Alright, excellent. Next question?
Sure.
Maybe you'll hit one of the lucky numbers that hasn't been spoken for yet.
11.
11. We have done 11. So in that case, let's do 13, which is who are you?
Who am I?
Yeah.
Well, as I mentioned at the top, but sort of stuttered, so let's see if I can do it right this time. I am Tentacle Panther. The underscore is important. The extra-dimensional what the duck, full of stolen thoughts and memories.
So why is that your intro?
Because it's patchy. It sticks in the brain that I am a what the duck. Because, like, as... Whoop. Playing Half-Life Alyx. There's a scene where you end up in a fight with... Alex calls it the Lightning Dog. But by the time she coined that, I had already decided it was the electric what the fuck. And I mean, in my head at least, that's stuck significantly better. So, alright, that's something I can draw on for branding purposes. And the stolen thoughts and memories part is because I really liked / identified with Cortana back in high school.
Yeah.
And also, it holds true to how I see my place creatively in the world. Where, again, back to childhood, I thought, like, man, how... It's so hard. It is so hard to be original. There's, like, nothing new that's left. Everything is already exists.
Yeah.
There's nothing new. But looking at things that were really good, well, it doesn't have to be new. It just has to steal little bits from a lot of places. Oh, I found the spot.
What spot?
Found the spot where we put all the crates or the barrels or
Oh,
I don't
great.
know what it is.
Wonderful. Awesome.
What was I saying? If you take 100% of something, well, that's just copying. But if you take
that's
5% of 20 things, that's a phenomenally fascinating world that has been built.
Okay, I think I see that.
Here I am, full to the brim of stolen thoughts and memories. And the reason that it matters is because I am the one who is curating them. I have chosen which ones to take, and the way that I am putting them back out. So people come to me not for the things that I have taken, because they get those in other places. They come to me for the way I put them back together again.
I like that a lot. Having that broken down makes a lot more sense of why that's in your intro then. I like that a lot. Thank you for explaining that. That's great. Ah, I'm making a mess.
How dare you?
How
dare you?
No. I'm so upset.
Ooh, this causes physics. I'm going to stop messing around with this now. On second thought, I'm not going to put this right here where we are going to constantly trip over it.
Yeah. I mean, where I had it first was a pretty good spot to have it.
Agreed, but I have moved it.
Oh. Well. Too late now, I guess.
Yeah, I forget where it was. Okay. What is this thing? What goes here? Is it crates? Is it not crates? What goes here? There should be a label.
I mean, there could be barrels, yeah.
Yeah, I've seen crates in this map. I've seen barrels. I've seen a bucket that I just tipped over with an iron plate.
Oh, careful.
That's a lot of goo. Can I fill this up?
I think we have like 3 or so more questions.
Ah. Alright.
Hold on.
17.
Yeah, I've done 17. Actually, maybe this is the last question. I'm double checking my numbers.
Ooh.
Oh, we haven't done 8. We haven't done 8. 8 is...
Why do you really make things?
No, why do you like them? Referring to Juniper. Why do you like Juniper? Give me more details.
More details.
More details.
More details. Well, it's one of those friendships that is hard to articulate because we kind of just bumped into each other, and from that moment we're joined at the hip.
I see.
I think the original meeting was Natey Beak's server in the self-promotion channel. Where it's like, self-promos for everybody, put your stuff in here. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna put mine in there. But now that I've done that, I should, or before I do that, somewhere in there, I shouldn't just completely selfishly do this. I should engage with it at least one time. And I'm pretty sure I only ever did engage with it one time, but that one time was Juniper.
Nice.
And if I recall correctly, I came wandering in, he was playing Darkest Dungeon. We chatted for a bit, and then I said, alright, this is great, I'll probably come back, but for now, I have to go do my stream. And he was so enthusiastic and supportive that I was also doing a stream.
Aww.
And like 20 minutes later, he raided me.
I love that.
Whoa, wow. And as I said, it's hard to pick apart the boundaries from that point, because it was kind of just like stuck together.
Yeah. What are some of your favorite activities that you two do together?
Activities. Good grief, what do we do?
I'm gonna put barrels here, just because it feels like that's probably where they want them to be.
Well, this is more of a byproduct than a thing that actually gets sought out, but there's the occasional just in a call. It started with a reason, but at this point we're just in the call because we haven't gone to bed yet.
Yeah.
And it's just being in a call. Someone might be working on something. There might be extended periods of silence in between, like... Okay, so 2 a.m. heavy question.
Okay. Yeah. But just hang out. Okay.
Yeah.
If there's something to do, you know that...
Support.
Yeah. You know you've got a friend.
Mm-hmm.
That's wonderful.
Also,
I'm glad you have that.
I very much enjoy flustering him.
Flustering him how?
However I can.
I see him. That's just something you like to do.
Very much so. And him especially. He flusters very nicely. one of probably, I don't know if it's top by viewership, but it's, in my opinion, one of my top clips. It's of his channel. He was playing Kaiju. The game where you are a kaiju and also you are trying to get to know another kaiju so that you can have a wholesome relationship and maybe smooch them at the end.
Aww. I love that. Okay. So it's a kaiju dating sim.
Yeah, I made some sort of innuendo.
Oh.
And it caught him really off guard. He was very... And from that point, I got him with the double up of, I've never heard somebody key smash verbally before. And that was a great time. I've got a big dumb grin on my face just remembering that.
I have a grin just hearing about that. That's wonderful. That's beautiful. I love that. Thank you for sharing.
Thank you for asking.
So I think there's one last question. I won't make you roll for it, because it's not a number you can get on a d20. So last question is... Oh, actually there's 2 more questions. Not bad. It's okay. It's fine. The next question is, when are you the happiest?
When am I the happiest? 2 moments spring to mind. Walking home from Pole, I often observe that I'm walking there and I've got like, I've got to... Say again?
I found where the barrels go.
Oh, where?
So, down this tunnel, there's a little section that is designated for the barrels. Go over here, and then over here. This little square.
It is barrels. Man, I hope we don't get in trouble. I have incinerated a few of them.
No, you are gonna get in trouble.
They looked very biohazardous.
You're not supposed to do that. No, I'm gonna get fired for burning company material.
Oof.
Anyway, as you were saying, I'm sorry to interrupt.
What was I saying? The question was, when am I the happiest? And 2 moments spring to mind are... are that moment of being cheeky where the kid said, I think that's the first time I've seen you smile. And walking home from Pole, which I've breezed past the one that I hadn't talked about yet. But oh well. But yeah, that moment of after I have been at the place where I feel strong, I feel capable, and also I feel very attractive. I feel very attractive seeing myself in the mirrors at pole dancing the thing that I can do.
Yeah.
Even just the way I stand there. I feel as though I am capable with much agency on the world and desirable as a
person.
As a part of it.
Wonderful. I love that. That's great. That sounds like a really, really great feeling. I'm glad you have access to that.
Thank you.
Yeah, I hope you're able to maintain that and that you're able to continue to go into pole as much as you want to.
Thank you.
Yeah. So, do you want to continue or go to the last question?
I think I have told the story of the other part pretty well.
Okay. The last question is, who would you like me to see interviewed next?
Well, I mean, whoops, I have mopped the medkit off the wall.
Oops.
As you may guess, I have a very high opinion of Juniper Ram. And I believe that he has an interesting story to him as well. And, like, a fair bit of background overlap with you yourself. I feel that you had some similarities in upbringing that you may connect over.
Possibly. There's a good chance of it. Alright, I'll put him down on the list. Ah.
But then, like, who else? Is there anybody apart from the obvious?
That I haven't already interviewed. Because we kind of are in the same group.
Yeah, well, I've got some threads out on a few of them, but I have not completely evaluated their vibes yet. Yeah, that's the play. Ah, hello, new streamer that I am in your stream now. Don't mind me, I will just be intensely evaluating your vibes for the next however long it takes.
Yep.
Act normal, you are being judged.
Oh my god. Like, that's very true of what happens, but no one says it in that way, and so we ignore it, but imagine if he did actually say that.
I've maybe said some things along those lines once. He took it with pretty good humor.
Wonderful. Don't mind me, I'm just actively judging you. Don't worry about it. Oh, I'm sorry. It's my fault. I did get the boxes. Okay, good. Then I can help you with this bucket I disrupted.
I'm just gonna stand here until you come back, because I am covered in muck.
Yeah. I'll be there in a second. Okay. I got a bucket. Bucket.
Get a new one. No, that actually was an accident. It put enough water, it put enough muck into the water that it caused a mess.
Of course. Of course it did.
Alright,
don't spill this one.
I'm going to step slightly further up now. There we go.
Yeah, oh my god. Doing this is really weird. Watching you do that.
The jumping and mopping?
Yeah, you're just like stuck sideways to the wall. I think we've got about everything.
Oh, wait,
about
ceiling
as clean
bullet
as I'm
holes.
gonna get.
There's bullet holes in the roof.
Holes? Oh.
Where'd we put the thingamahoos in?
I don't know, you touched it last.
Ah, it is right here.
And then you gotta clean up the smoke.
sniffer time.
Alright. I'll throw this bucket away then, I guess.
Oh. Oh!
Hmm?
Good thing we had the sniffer. Look at
What?
that!
Oh! Oh goodness. What a mess.
I'm gonna get a bucket.
I think there's one bullet hole? 2? 3? There's a couple bullet holes. Oh, sorry. Excuse me. Pardon me.
Bucket. Bucket.
Bucket. I think we got the grime on the roof, but we need the bullet holes. I'll grab... There it is. Grab the gun.
Cool, cool.
There we go. Not all of them? I think so.
Ooh, extra crate.
I like this song. It's a good song.
Yeah. Ah! There's a carcass piece in this bin.
Oh no!
And it's making the floor bloody.
Where? Ah, right there. I got the one bloody footstep.
Ran past it a bazillion times. And I'm gonna put these metal sheets with the crates.
Is there a different place that they go? Or is that just where they're gonna be?
I have, like, there might be, but I haven't found it yet.
I haven't seen anything. Alright, I guess we can call that good enough. I feel like we've done good work.
Yeah. The sniffer is giving us an okay job.
Alright.
Oh, more barrels.
Oh, there's a couple barrels. Alright. Just a few.
We've also got something right here.
Might be a bullet
I'm gonna
hole.
get a lamp.
Yeah. That spot. Yeah, that's a spot. I gotta
Sorry.
Yeah, go through, sorry.
Ah, here we go. It's a scorch mark.
Mmm.
Scorch mark in a dark tunnel.
Those are hard to see.
Oh, bullet hole right here. Oh, a whole bunch of bullet holes over here. Good grief.
Oh yeah, look at that. Okay. The gun's right here. Eh.
Got another one top left.
Did I get him?
Looks like it.
Okay. Yeah. I think that's good. Nope, there's nothing. Okay.
Ah, scorch mark. Also another
do you
bullet
have
hole
a
right
bucket?
next to that kid.
No bucket?
Oh, bucket.
That's fine. I'll get a new bucket.
There.
Ah, come on. There we go. There we go. Clean broom. Ah, gotta sneeze. Hold on. Ah! Sorry, excuse me. Ooh. Ay, 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 ay. Okay. I think we've got everything. But I also just kind of want to be done.
Fair.
I think I've done enough work here. And it's the end of the interview, so we gotta wrap this up.
That's fair. I've been quietly following around this sniffer for a while now.
Alright.
I found more bullet holes, though.
No!
Whoops!
Oh gosh! What have we done?
My bad.
Oh no. Careful with the lights. They're fragile.
This is gonna give me an arm. I caught it! Say, could you open the furnace for me?
Yeah. Oh, put down the bucket. There we go. I'll open the furnace. For you.
I guess to fill some time, I can ask, what do you cultivate as your aesthetic in life?
Oh gosh. So mostly what I've done is attribute certain things to, like, if someone thinks about me, there are certain items that comes to mind. So like the color blue, wolves, and maybe if they know me enough, maybe a lotus. And maybe the color silver, because those are, you know. There's a couple other minor things, but mostly, like, if I can manage to, whenever someone sees those items, they think of me, I think I succeeded, gosh, in cultivating that aesthetic. I don't quite know what that aesthetic is, but it's mine. Where, like, these certain things together kind of symbolize the presence that I want to have, you know? That makes sense?
Fair.
Yeah. We're so close. We're almost done.
Always one more bullet hole.
There's always one more. Ah! I have a panel here. Panel should be moved. Nothing under it? Okay.
You know what? Good enough.
Good enough? Alright.
I'm willing to go.
I need my fellow technician or lead senior technician. Finish their shift. Okay. That's the wrong button.
Alright. Union's got my back.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, how'd we do?
Promoted! Nice! We did it. Left the work site feeling confident that everything was in order. A good job on your record is sure to earn favor with your superiors. You feel a sense of fear as you realize your colleagues are sure to punish you for your efforts at an ascension. In the end, you decide they can go to hell, the lazy losers. You periodically gaze up at the wall in front of you, smugly, in between attempts to beat your broom high score of level 13, and imagine your picture framed on the wall with the words Employee of the Month beneath it. Indeed. I mean, we have 2 good jobs in a row, which is by far more impressive than any of our other colleagues.
We've gotten the achievement to clean any map adequately.
Wonderful. We did an adequate job. I'm happy for us. Alright, well, I'm gonna move us over to the just chatting screen so we can do our
Sounds
outro. And I will exit the game. Leave the blood for your colleagues? Yes. I will do that. Okay. Well, thank you for doing this with me, Tentacle Panther. I appreciate your company.
Thank you so much for having me.
I hope you had fun. I hope you enjoyed.
I did.
And we should definitely... I'm glad to hear it. We should definitely try to do Monster Hunter without recording. And go fishing. Yeah.
Yeah.
We should do that. Is there anything else you'd like to say or mention before we wrap up today?
Anything else I'd like to say or mention?
Mm-hmm.
Boy, this is a great place for a prepared remark.
It is.
I guess I will say one thing is that to anyone listening, and to you yourself, if you need to hear this, every single thing in your life that you just barely managed to struggle through is something that you have done. And even if you didn't complete it, it is something you have survived. Like, I take this from a book series where in book like 9, the protagonist is talking to someone and goes like, "Geez, my life is hell. How come people keep coming to me for help? Like, I've been just barely surviving things for months and years now." And the person he's talking to just lists off everything in the books. Like, well, you're the guy who went up against this and 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 this, and you survived, and half of them didn't. So just getting through it is more of an accomplishment than it might seem.
I like that a lot. I appreciate that. Thank you.
Thanks for asking.
I don't know what game it's from. I think it might be from a Grand Theft Auto, but there's a saying, surviving is winning. Like, just to continuing to exist is pulling one over on the universe, and you're winning just by existing. So, I think that aligns. So yeah, thank you. So I'm assuming that anyone who has watched this video, whether it be the edited version or not, I'm assuming that if you reach this part, you probably would like Tentacle Panther. So where can people find your stuff?
I can be found on Twitch at tentacle_panther, just like an actual underscore. Don't write a UNDE. Don't do that. I can be found on Twitter at tentacle_panther. I can be found on Discord at tentacle_panther, now that they did the new name thing. It's, as much as I said, there is nothing new under the sun. Everything has already been done. Apparently, I am so far the only person who sticks the words tentacle and panther together, even though I didn't make it up. No. I looked at, like, I opened a monster manual one day and saw a displacer beast and saw that is the coolest thing I have ever seen in my life. I am going to take it to be my aesthetic. And it is not my face, it is my name. Well, it is my title. It is, in online spaces, often my name is Dux, but my username is Tentacle Panther. So it is a moniker that I have adopted, and I remain shocked every day that I have never had competition for it.
That is surprising, yes.
Once you convince Google that you do mean to say the words Tentacle Panther, I am the top results.
Wonderful. That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's great. I am not.
Yes, I mean, one of these days I'm going to do YouTube, but for now I only exist on Silverstorm's channel with her super cool interview series.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. And on Twitch. And Twitter.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
The Twitter is mainly just a backup for the Discord.
Yeah.
Or not, yeah, actually, no, yeah, it is a backup for the Discord. I made that Twitter specifically because a sponsorship deal required me to. Because you had to tweet about it. You gotta tweet if you want to take this sponsorship. They did not care that I had 1 follower at the time. I don't think that follower even read that post.
Probably not.
Hey, it was something.
Indeed it was. Well, thank you for being here. I'm glad you had fun. And till next time. Yeah. Thank you. Take care.
Toodaloo.
Yeah, right.